Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the beautiful, wild, remote landscape of Scotland. In today's adventure, I'm about to document some history of Glenisla because I'm basically on a spontaneous walk here. In the last video we documented an old abandoned croft at the far side of these trees. Loch Chandra's actually over that hill, but today's adventure I'm continuing my walk over this direction here. Look at this, beside the path here there's actually flocks of sheep and they can graze these lands as far as the eye can see, and that is mad. They're some of the luckiest sheep kicking about. Acres and acres of fresh Scottish grass for them to eat. And also on this path, it's like they've been taking a lot of trees out recently, a lot of forestry work. I've only walked on this track one time before, when I was up here with Highlander 87, probably like a year ago or whatever. So today's video, it's mad. I had never actually done a connecting walk all the way from Loch Chandra to the lands of Glenisla, and that's basically what today is all about. We're just basically doing a whole circuit all the way around the glen, because my car's parked down at the foot of the Loch Chandra car park down there. And yeah, I'm gassed out. It's a steep hill. Vlogging walking up a hill, folks, there's nothing worse for your cardio. Look at this, since I've come at the top of this little grassy hill, I can actually see the snow on the faraway mountains in the background of Glenisla here. That's the first snow of winter, and it is proper snow, it's not just ice on those back hills, and that'll be how we've got the cold 4-degree air today out here in the lands. Yeah, there's been some mad timber operations. I almost thought it looked like there had been like an outline or a boundary of a croft in there, but I can't see because of the trees. But I think I'm going to head back down that track, folks, because it's super overgrown. Each side of this forest, you can see it's waist high bog grass out here in the lands. See this here, folks, this is the Catering Trail. When you see these little signs, it means you're on the walking route that takes you over the lands of Scotland here. So people often say to me in the comments, how do you find all the abandoned places you explore? But often it's just by going out on walks like this, into places where there's no main road, places that's hardly seen, and that's when you notice the coolest things. Down there is actually the wee farm croft that featured in the last video, and now I'm coming over the hill towards the side, which features like the ROC bunker of Glenisla and places like that, and I'll document that on my way past. Look at this for the scene with the autumn colours down in the hollow. All the trees are different colours and it just makes for a mad scene. There's loads of cows here within the long grass. This is incredible, folks. There's little cafes here, tiny little things, so cool. Glenisla coos right here. I love to see it on the video. Oh, I didn't want to frighten it. Look at the little cafe down here. It's so tiny. They probably didn't see many people up here. It's obviously a wild, remote field. So there we are, folks. Happy Glenisla cows. And the cafe is the coolest thing we've seen on today's adventure. What an incredible scene, folks, the little Scottish cafes. I was just trying to get them on video without scaring the big ones. Oh, it's so muddy there. So now I've come over the hill and now we can see Glenisla village down in the hollow. Glenisla Hotel and the wee church down next to the hall. And wow, I just love coming out in the autumn for a walk into the glens. That's how this week there's been a few videos up at these wee crofts and little abandoned places hidden in areas like the Angus Glens or Glenisla here. In the last few videos at the start of the week we were up Glen Moy. But yeah, this time of year it's kind of just coming into exploring season, and we've got a few places lined up for going to, but they're too overgrown at this time of year. So we're basically saving them for a couple of months, and then it'll be go time for madnesses. And one of the main historical wonders that we're about to visit today and look at on the video is this little ROC bunker down here at the side of the path. And it was actually put in at the start of the Cold War, there was like 1,500 of them roughly put in across the whole UK for monitoring nuclear detonation and fallout at the time of like a nuclear war. That was so the British government could get a best idea for what was left of civilization after such devastation. So yeah, we'll take a look at the Glenisla ROC bunker, or what remains of the surface features down here. So this here is the bunker, located at the corner of the sheep field in Glenisla here. And I think it was one of the ones that was actually shut down early, because I believe some of them shut down in 1968 and other ones were kept open till 1991. And that's how we can see, look, this one's got the wooden louvers. I think last time I came here it was so extremely windy I couldn't even document it properly. So it's cool to come back today. Look how this has fallen off. Proper eroded away with the wild weather. This is where one of the devices, a mirror, was actually bolted on. Yeah, what a scene, folks. It is locked, so we're not going to force our way in, as we do on this channel. I believe the farmer down the road's actually the key holder, and yeah, we always come with the greatest respects. But yeah, it's cool to document it on the way past on this adventure. Yeah, look, there was actually a pipe here, and that was for the bomb power gauge, so they could measure the power of the detonation at a time of the nuclear blast. And then this here was where they put on the radiation detector, and that was basically the three instruments of measure they used. And then also they would be out here measuring the weather, getting data on what way the wind and stuff was blowing. So then they would know exactly where the fallout would be. With all their instruments to measure, they could pinpoint it. So yeah, it's cool, folks. Then look down here, the autumn colours over the lands of Glenisla. Just think that's like Cold War history hidden in the middle of this. In the last video I was on the same walk, but actually it was history from a completely different time. And think how the culture and stuff changed from that time till now, when they're building Cold War bunkers and stuff like that. It's just crazy the variation of things you can see in a Scottish glen. So check this out here. As we come to the bottom of the path here, on top of the hill is actually the Glenisla War Memorial. And what walk around Glenisla would be complete without visiting this place. This is obviously built here in memory of the soldiers that fell from this parish here of Glenisla in the war. And it is cool to remember them with these videos, because obviously we visit so much military history and wartime history on the channel. This was obviously a big part of it as well. The folk from these remote glens that sadly lost their lives and never came home. And you can see the names there. Duncan, Graham, Ogilvy, and names like that there. Proper Scottish names. And yeah, it's smart to just take a second to record it on my way past. Now I need to make my way down these little steps here. You can see how there's the odd stone being put in on the face of the hill here. And now I get to the main road. I need to walk the main road till I get to another road down there. And this is basically a mission that we've never been on before on the channel. I've done individual little explores at some of these places, but never all in one big circuit. So this is what a main Scottish road looks like through these glens, folks. You can see it's obviously two lanes there, but sometimes at certain areas you have to really like slow down or pull in for the oncoming vehicle, because it can get narrower and wider as you make your way along the road. This is a proper dangerous little corridor to be walking round. Judging from the amount of leaves we're seeing now on the roads, you can really tell autumn's kicking in. maybe another week or a week and a half, there'll be no leaves left on some of these trees if we get some proper windy conditions. Check out folks, Kirkton of Glenisla, and this video was basically Kirkton of Glenisla ROC bunker, 1968 shut down. And yeah, interesting to document once again on the channel. The reason I wanted to go back there on today's video as we walk past was because last time I went there it was so windy and stormy. It was before I had the windsock on the camera and you couldn't even make out like what I was saying, or it was difficult to see the structure without getting rain on the lens. So today it was perfect conditions. Yeah, it's fun often walking around a circuit or an area you've never walked, and I had never walked around from Loch Chandra all the way to this location, and that's why it's been cool as well. It's been a fun adventure, and it's cool to throw the camera on along the way, take the viewers along on these adventures into Scotland as well. And who knows where I'm going in the next video, folks. This is the little road here. I need to basically go down here. My car's parked probably like a mile and a half down here. Airbnb Burnside Cottage it says there, folks. Shout out if you're wanting to stay up in these majestic lands, folks. Give them a shout. Yeah, look at this, the autumn colours, and there's loads of deer down in that field, and a bird of prey is just taken off out of that tree. That's another cool thing with these adventures, the amount of wildlife that I see along the way and the amount of animals. Special to see. And it's so peaceful out here in these lands. But yeah, my car's at the end of this track, folks. It's been cool to see the little bits of history we've seen today on the channel. Cold War history, hidden in the glen where most history is for such an ancient time. It's like 1500s, crofts and little communities, farms, even thriving modern day farms that's built on the footprint of ancient farm crofts back in the day. But it was cool to see the ROC position, the ROC bunker, and it would have been manned by local ROC, like obviously the Royal Observer Corps. They were the people that manned those, like little bunkers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting to see it. It is cool it's still there even though it was closed down so long ago. Some of the other ones were actually kept open till 1991, and we have documented quite a few of them on the channel. So yeah, it was cool to get that one today. Anyway folks, I'm just about back to my car, so we're going to end this video here. Thanks very much for watching, and join me again soon for another adventure where I go exploring another abandoned historical wonder of Scotland. I'll see you soon.